just when it seemed like the Duggar family had finally escaped another wave of public controversy. A shocking new legal development is suddenly pulling one of the family's quietest members back into the spotlight. Reports are now claiming that Joseph Duggar has allegedly filed a new legal motion connected to an ongoing disagreement involving contact with children. And almost immediately, the internet erupted with speculation. Social media users are now debating what this filing could really mean. Is this a serious family conflict happening behind closed doors? Is the situation being exaggerated by online gossip? Or could this become yet another controversy that damages the Duggar family's already complicated public image? As new rumors continue spreading across YouTube, Reddit, TikTok, and celebrity gossip pages, fans and critics alike are closely watching for answers. And now, many people believe this story may only be getting started. After the initial headlines began spreading online, many viewers immediately started asking the same question. What exactly is this new legal motion about, and why is it suddenly attracting so much attention? According to online reports and growing social media discussion, the filing is allegedly connected to disagreements involving contact with children, a topic that instantly raises emotions whenever it becomes attached to a high-profile family situation. Now, it's important to point out that many of the details currently circulating online remain unverified, and a large amount of the discussion appears to be fueled by speculation rather than confirmed court disclosures. But in the age of social media, even limited information can quickly snowball into major controversy. And because the Duggar family has spent years in the public eye through reality television, viewers are naturally paying close attention to every new development. For longtime followers of the family, Joseph Duggar has generally maintained a quieter public image compared to some of his siblings. He has rarely been the center of major headlines, which is exactly why this situation is creating such strong reactions online. Some fans are expressing concern that the legal filing could point toward deeper family disagreements happening privately behind the scenes. Others believe the situation may simply involve routine legal procedures that are being sensationalized because of the Duggar name attached to them. And that divide in public opinion is becoming impossible to ignore. Across social media platforms, reactions have ranged from sympathy and concern to criticism, suspicion, and intense speculation about what may actually be happening behind closed doors. Some commenters are urging people not to jump to conclusions until official information becomes clearer. Meanwhile, others believe the fact that a legal motion was reportedly filed at all suggests that tensions may already be escalating. That's one of the biggest reasons this story has gained traction so quickly. People are trying to fill in the blanks before all the facts are publicly available. And when it comes to the Duggar family, public curiosity has always been unusually intense. For years, the family built a brand centered around faith, family values, parenting, and close-knit relationships through shows like 19 Kids and Counting and later Counting On. Because of that public image, any suggestion of internal conflict immediately becomes headline material online. Many viewers also remember the previous controversies that surrounded the Duggar family over the years. So for critics of the family, this newest development is being viewed as yet another chapter in a much larger ongoing public narrative. At the same time, supporters of the family argue that online communities often rush to create dramatic assumptions before reliable facts are confirmed. Some fans say the internet has developed a habit of turning ordinary legal situations into viral scandals simply because the Duggar family name generates clicks and attention. And honestly, both sides of the debate are contributing to why this story keeps spreading. The uncertainty surrounding the situation is creating a perfect environment for speculation. YouTube channels are discussing it. TikTok creators are reacting to it. Reddit threads are analyzing every possible detail, and gossip pages are publishing non-stop theories about what this legal motion could potentially mean moving forward. But legal experts often warn that family-related court disputes, especially those involving children, can be far more complicated than they initially appear from the outside. In many cases, motions connected to parenting arrangements, visitation, or family disagreements do not necessarily indicate extreme conflict. Sometimes they're preventative, sometimes they're procedural, and sometimes they simply reflect ongoing negotiations between parties trying to establish legal clarity. That nuance is important because online discussions rarely slow down long enough to consider those possibilities. Instead, internet speculation tends to move much faster than verified information. And for public figures tied to reality television, that pressure becomes even more intense. Some viewers now believe this controversy could place additional strain on the Duggar family's already fragile public reputation. Others think the family has dealt with so many headlines over the years that another wave of online attention may not significantly change public opinion at all. But regardless of which perspective people hold, one thing is undeniable. The Duggar family continues to attract enormous public fascination years after their reality television peak. And now, with this reported legal motion making headlines, many people are watching closely to see whether more information will eventually emerge, or whether the story will remain dominated by rumor and speculation. For years, Joseph Duggar was often considered one of the more private members of the Duggar family. While several of his siblings frequently found themselves at the center of headlines, Joe generally stayed quieter, focusing on family life and avoiding the level of public attention that followed some of the others. Fans first got to know him through 19 Kids and Counting, the long-running TLC reality series that introduced millions of viewers to the Duggar household and their ultra-conservative lifestyle. Later, he continued appearing on Counting On, the spin-off series that followed the adult children as they got married and started families of their own. At the height of the family's television fame, the Duggars became one of the most recognizable reality TV families in America. Viewers watched courtships, weddings, pregnancies, and family milestones unfold on screen year after year. But that fame also came with intense public scrutiny. Over time, multiple controversies involving the family dramatically shifted public perception. Headlines surrounding earlier scandals transformed the Duggars from a reality TV success story into a family constantly surrounded by online debate, criticism, and speculation. Since then, virtually any new update connected to a Duggar family member has attracted immediate attention across social media, entertainment blogs, and fan forums. And that helps explain why this latest legal development involving Joseph Duggar is now generating so much discussion online. According to recent reports and online conversations, a newly filed motion connected to Joe has sparked widespread speculation involving disagreements over contact with children. While many specifics remain unclear or disputed, the filing alone was enough to reignite public curiosity surrounding the family. Almost immediately, internet communities began dissecting every available detail. Some users suggested the matter could simply involve routine legal procedures that are common in family-related situations. Others believed the filing hinted at larger tensions happening privately behind the scenes, tensions that the public may know very little about. As often happens with high-profile families, the lack of confirmed information has only fueled more speculation. On platforms like Reddit, TikTok, Facebook groups, and YouTube comment sections, reactions have become increasingly emotional. Supporters of the Duggar family argue that online rumors are frequently exaggerated and unfair. Critics, meanwhile, claim the family's history naturally causes people to question new developments more closely. And because audiences have followed the Duggars for nearly 2 decades, many viewers now feel personally invested in the family's story, even years after their television dominance faded. That emotional investment is a major reason why even relatively small legal updates connected to the family can quickly spiral into major online discussion. For longtime followers, Every new filing, rumor, or public statement feels connected to a much larger narrative that has been unfolding for years. And in today's social media environment, stories like this can spread incredibly fast, especially when key details remain uncertain. Right now, many people are trying to separate verified information from internet speculation. Some are asking whether the disagreement is being overblown online. Others are wondering if the situation could become more serious in the coming weeks. And as more reaction, channels and entertainment outlets begin covering the story, public curiosity only continues growing. What makes this situation especially notable is how quickly the conversation expanded beyond just Joseph Duggar himself. Instead, it has once again reopened broader debates about the Duggar family's public image, their past controversies, and the long-term impact reality television fame has had on the entire family. Even after years away from peak television popularity, the Duggars remain a family that people continue discussing intensely online. And now, with this newest legal motion drawing attention, many viewers believe another major chapter in the ongoing Duggar saga may be unfolding in real time. Building directly from that point, the online response didn't just stay at surface-level commentary. It quickly evolved into deeper debates about how much weight should be given to partial legal information shared outside of court context. In many cases like this, what people see online is only a fragment of a much larger procedural picture. A single motion can be filed for a wide range of reasons, including scheduling disputes, jurisdictional requests, clarification of prior agreements, or adjustments to existing arrangements. But when those filings are shared without full documentation or context, they can easily be interpreted in ways that go far beyond their actual legal meaning. That gap between what is filed and what people assume it means is where most of the online tension is forming. Some users are reading the situation as evidence of a serious breakdown in communication or trust, while others are pushing back, insisting that no conclusions should be drawn without seeing the complete court record or official rulings. This divide has become one of the defining features of the discussion. Another major factor driving the reaction is the sensitive nature of anything involving children. Even when legal documents do not make explicit claims about harm or wrongdoing, the mere suggestion of disagreements involving custody, contact, or access can trigger strong emotional responses online. People tend to fill in informational gaps with assumptions, especially when children are mentioned, which often amplifies concern beyond what is actually confirmed. Legal experts and commentators who weigh in on similar situations often emphasize an important distinction. Allegations, filings, and confirmed findings are not the same thing. An allegation is a claim made by one party. A filing is a procedural step within a legal system. A confirmed fact is something that has been tested, reviewed, and established by a court. When those three categories get blurred together in online discussions, misunderstandings spread quickly. In this case, that distinction has become central to how the conversation is unfolding. Some viewers are treating the motion itself as proof of conflict, while others are reminding audiences that filings alone are not evidence of wrongdoing or final outcomes. This disagreement in interpretation is what continues to fuel back-and-forth debate across platforms. Social media algorithms also play a role in accelerating the intensity of the discussion. As posts gain engagement, they are pushed to wider audiences, often without additional context or updates. This can lead to a situation where early interpretations become sticky narratives, even if later information adds nuance or correction. At the same time, supporters of the family and more cautious observers are urging restraint, pointing out that legal processes, especially those involving families, often unfold slowly and privately, with limited public visibility until much later stages. From their perspective, drawing conclusions at this stage risks turning procedural developments into assumptions about personal behavior or intent. As a result, the conversation remains sharply divided. On one side is a growing wave of speculation driven by fragmented information and emotional interpretation. On the other is a call for patience, legal accuracy, and respect for the boundaries of what is actually known. And as the motion continues to circulate through online discussions, that tension between public curiosity and legal reality is likely to remain at the center of the debate. One major reason this story has exploded online so quickly is because the Duggar family name already carries years of controversy, scrutiny, and public debate. For many viewers, even a small update involving the family immediately reopens conversations about past scandals, internal family dynamics, and long-standing criticism of their public image. That built-up history creates a situation where almost any new development draws immediate and widespread attention. In today's social media environment, stories involving children, family conflict, and reality television figures tend to spread especially fast. They sit at the intersection of curiosity, emotion, and controversy, which is exactly what drives engagement online. There is also a strong emotional divide among longtime viewers. Some people followed the family for years through their television appearances and still feel a sense of connection or loyalty toward them. Others watched those same years and came away with deep criticism or concern. That emotional investment cuts both ways. Supporters argue that online discussion too quickly turns into speculation, and that private family matters are being pushed into the public spotlight in ways that may be unfair or invasive. Critics, on the other hand, believe that when a family with such a high public profile becomes linked to legal or sensitive issues, public accountability and scrutiny are unavoidable. As these perspectives clash across platforms, the conversation becomes even more intense. YouTube commentators, bloggers, TikTok creators, and online forums all begin breaking down fragments of information from different angles, often interpreting the same details in completely different ways. And because confirmed information remains limited, speculation naturally fills the gaps. In many ways, it's not just the story itself that is driving attention, it's the uncertainty surrounding it. The lack of clarity gives the internet room to theorize, debate, and continuously revisit the topic as new posts and interpretations emerge. As online discussions continue to grow, many people are now beginning to question what kind of long-term impact this situation could have on Joseph Duggar and the broader Duggar family. From a legal perspective, courts are expected to focus strictly on evidence, procedure, and verified facts, not on online commentary or public reaction. But in the modern media landscape, public perception often moves much faster than the legal system, and it can shape how a story is framed long before any final outcomes are reached. For a family that has already spent years under intense public scrutiny, even a relatively small development can quickly reopen older conversations, past controversies, and renewed criticism across social media platforms. Some observers believe the family may choose to remain largely silent in order to avoid fueling further speculation or escalating attention. In high-profile situations like this, silence is often used as a strategy to reduce media amplification. Others, however, feel that continued silence could actually increase curiosity, potentially leading to more speculation and a demand for clearer statements or future filings that might provide additional context. At the same time, cases involving children tend to draw stronger emotional responses from the public, which makes the conversation even more sensitive. Many viewers argue that privacy should be the priority in situations involving minors and family-related disputes. On the other hand, there are also those who believe that when public figures are involved, a higher level of transparency is expected, especially when legal matters become part of the public record or online discussion. And because the Duggar family remains one of the most widely recognized and heavily discussed reality TV families online, every new development tends to receive immediate and intense attention, regardless of scale. Ultimately, whether this controversy fades quietly or develops into something more significant will likely depend on what happens next in the legal process, and whether any new verified information becomes public in the coming weeks or months. At this point, many questions surrounding Joseph Duggar's reported legal motion, along with the broader disagreement involving contact with children, remain unanswered. Some observers believe the situation is being amplified beyond what the actual legal details currently support, while others feel the intense public reaction reflects deeper, long-standing concerns tied to the Duggar family's history in the public eye. What is clear, however, is that the story has once again placed the family at the center of widespread online discussion. Between ongoing legal speculation, emotional reactions across social media, and growing public curiosity about what may come next, the situation continues to evolve in real time. For now, viewers are left waiting for verified updates, while online debate shows no sign of slowing down. And with that, thanks for watching, and until next time.